Hello, welcome to the 27th day of February 2026. My name is Kurt, and this is my daily good life meditation for Friday. This is something that I do every morning at 5:30 a.m. to remember my life objectives and principles, those which I've made efforts to record and share in my book, Going Alone, which can be read for free at goingalone.org, or you can purchase the book via Amazon or from your local bookseller. I also used this time to think about yesterday and how I did with the challenges and the opportunities that I met. I go over my creed, the first 8 objectives, and one of the principles, and then I prepare for the coming day. But first, let me say hello to new subscribers. Welcome back, return visitors, and say thank you to my YouTube supporters and my Patreon members. I really do appreciate you. Just a second. Forgive me. As you can see, I'm still struggling with, look at my eyes, and I'm still struggling with severe reactions to seasonal allergies. So I'll probably keep this pretty brief so I don't have to suffer you to witness me sniffling and sneezing for too long. Yesterday was and by the way, I think we're still having an ongoing issue with comments not appearing. I was trying to research that to figure out what's going on. Comments are intermittently appearing. I saw that yesterday when I concluded the stream that there were well over a dozen comments made, but at least only like 3 actually showed up. I have attempted to tune the settings of the comments to do all comments, but that doesn't seem to have worked. I do apologize if you leave a comment and it doesn't appear. I do typically wait and read comments until the end, but as for today, I'll just go ahead and read them as they come in, just to acknowledge the fact that I'm seeing comments. All right. So yesterday, was a strategic day with these severe allergies and my knowledge that just going outside would really bring on an onslaught. I was teaching one, what was it, a English club at a school where I work, and that would be in the afternoon from 1:30. I mostly hid in the room here all day with the air filter running, and then there's a comment from Tim. Good morning. Weather check for the UK at 8:35 p.m. is 9.8 degrees Celsius and 95% humidity, and an overcast and wet, warm day. Good to see your comment. Good to see you, Tim. Good to see your comment. I'm glad it came through. Sorry if you weren't able to leave comments in prior days. Hopefully the problem is resolved. Let's see. And so Yumiko drove me to work so that I could avoid time outdoors. I knew that if I walked to the train station and then walked from the downtown to the school, that would have wiped me out. I'd elected to walk back home. I didn't ask Yumiko to pick me up in the afternoon, and that did the trick. Boy, by the time I got home, I was like this, but worse. And I had a miserable night last night, just really bad. I am taking allergy medication. I might go see a doctor. This is something that I've always dealt with in Japan. It's funny how you kind of forget about it when I'm living away. Okay, that was all for yesterday. There were some challenges that I faced yesterday, but I'm going to let them be. Um, and I'm going to let them be, mostly for time, because I want to finish this up because I'm not feeling good. Tim says, thanks, Kurt. No worries. I left a comment on yesterday's Good Life. Thank you. You probably mean you left it after the fact because those different comment threads, right? I'm a little behind on my comments. I'm going to try to catch up today. I'm usually very good about keeping up with comments on the non-live videos. Well, I'm pretty good about all my comments because I respond to all the live comments that I see, and then after the fact. But the last couple of days, I'm falling a little bit behind. I know why I've fallen behind. I know why. It's because I've had so many comments from people about the tax videos that I've been doing. I've done 3 tax videos, and they've brought a whole lot of comments. Tim says, sorry, yes, after the fact. You got it. Yeah, I thought that's what you meant. And no need to apologize. Thank you. Yeah, certainly no need to apologize. It's just, yeah, recognizing that's the fact means that I'm going to keep an eye out for your comment in my usual comment lineup. One of the things I do every day is I sit here and I go through the comments and respond to each one. But I'm holding off for a couple of days because I've been doing these tax videos, and I've got several comments in there from people asking if they can have the address or the contact information of the accountant in Tokyo that I'm using, and I'm waiting from the accountant to give me permission to do that. So I haven't got that yet. So I've been holding off on responding to comments, but I'm gonna just respond and ask people to send me an email, and then I'll pile those emails up and then respond to the emails because I don't want to name the accountant publicly unless they told me so. All right. So that was it for yesterday. The creed consists of 8 objectives: to be ready for death, to make good and effective use of time, to develop good principles and objectives, to cultivate good emotional reactions, to perform good actions relative to my values, to recognize my limits and opportunities, to avoid multitasking, and instead by doing things slowly and deliberately and carefully, and try to do things one at a time, and to achieve and maintain a state of balance. I saw another comment just go through. Hello, Martison1111. Welcome. Ohio gozaimasu. I took vitamin D, local honey, and yogurt every day, and my pollen allergy got better. So I will do the same this year too. Oh, that sounds good. That's funny. I was just watching something this morning. Actually, I was um, combing my hair downstairs about a brew of honey and water or something or other. Vitamin D, local honey, and yogurt every day. Wow. I think I'm going to go to the doctor. He's got a couple of more advanced medicinal applications to honey, to allergies here that seem to work for my one for my brother-in-law, another for my student yesterday, who was telling me that the shot that he gets, every allergy does the job for him. Claude says, I could see dust particles, pet dendron in your live video with the sun beaming through the windows. Air filter is not filtering the dendron rising as you petted Rudy. Hope you feel well. Thank you. Yeah, that's definitely pet allergies don't seem to bother me. I'm allergic. I'm allergic to, probably Rudy needs a bath. I'm allergic very much to cedar pollen. I know what the culprit is, and so it's a long adventure that I've had with cedar pollen as long as I've lived, all the years that I've lived in Japan. Thank you for your well wishes, Claude. Tim says, sounds like you're struggling with the allergies. Have you tried antihistamines? Yes, I'm taking antihistamines now. Actually, this is the result with antihistamines. You should see me. You should see the other guy. You should see me without. It's pretty bad. Japan Monomore says, have you still got the sneezies, current intense seasonal hay fever? Yes, indeed. It's got me heavy duty. Kefir is good. Oh, really? Um, Evelyn says, hi, Kurt, Tim, Marson1111, Claude. I'm heading back to Bologna, Italy. Then, then Turkey this weekend, rushing around getting ready. Wow. So continental. That sounds like a lot of fun, Evelyn. Tim says hi to Evelyn, and Evelyn says, um, okay, so that was that for that. I'm going to read uh, the objective titled "True Limits and True Opportunities." Japan Monomer says, "How much will the 19th century Kutani plate in a flea market? How much will a 19th century Kutani plate in a flea market cost? They are so expensive on eBay." A Kutani plate. I'm not as familiar with Kutani plates as I am with sake cups. Kutani sake cups are not expensive. I can't speak to the plate. I don't know. I've never seen a Kutani plate. A plate. I don't know that I've ever seen one. Period. But Kutani sake cups are very familiar to me, and they're not expensive at all. It's a funny thing. It's because you think they would be. Evelyn says hi to Japan Monomore. And but come to think of it, I haven't spotted a nice Kutani sake cup since I've come back to Japan. They used to be a dime a, and they wouldn't be. I wouldn't say they would be a dime a dozen. They would be 100 yen a cup back in the day. Tim says during the summer here, I tend to keep windows closed, hard at the hot weather, and run an air purifier all the time just to help to keep the pollen to minimum. I'm doing the same. I have a really good air filter over there. that I run. It's running on low setting now, so it's not loud, but I run it at a high setting during the day. Japan Monitor says hi to Evelyn, and Japan Monitor says hi to Tim, and Tim says hi to JMA. Let me read that one objective. I'm glad to see comments seem to be working for everybody. I wonder what was going on yesterday and the day before. Okay, I'm going to read True Limits and True Opportunity on page 250 of the hardbound edition. Hello, Michael Littlejohn. I will strive to live life in honest recognition of my true scope of control, which extends no further than my thoughts, actions, and reactions, and the consequences these might entail. I will ask myself how I may craft favorable ends from any circumstance. What misfortune do I not have the power to fashion into some instrument of virtue? Is it death now at the door? Do not bar the way, for the hour of our meeting is truly at hand, and I will not attempt to detain in vain any will, force, or consequence which is truly beyond my control. And what role apathy in my discernment and vain engagement with the universe beyond the scope of my small control? And what reach must I attempt beyond the near, pale illumination of my reason? One of the things that's curious about writing a book, especially one that is in such earnest as my efforts to write this particular book. Just a second. Is the observation that despite my words not necessarily being clear, they're exactly what I wanted to say. And that passage there that I just read, despite not being necessarily clear without perhaps some effort, was exactly what I wanted to say. It's very pleasing to reflect years later, to read a passage for something that was important to me that I meant to put down into words, to leave behind as my legacy, and to realize that's exactly what I wanted to say. Whether anybody reads it or not, or whether it really makes sense, that's how the impression came to mind to me. Tim says, not a sake cup, but I recently bought a Japanese cup and saucer with a hand-painted Mount Fuji scene, and in the bottom of the cup is a geisha girl's face, which, when you hold the cup onto the light, drum roll please, there's another comment coming, the face becomes three-dimensional. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I haven't seen one of those in a long time. Those are really special. I love those. Yeah, boy, I completely forgot about them until you mentioned them. I must say it's been at least 20 years since I've seen one of those. And maybe in all my time in Japan as an antique dealer, maybe I only ever saw 3 of those. Nice. Tim said, or Robert, hi Robert, says hello to myself, Tim, Michael, Japan Monomore, Evelyn, Claude, Marisana 111, and notes that it's currently -2 degrees Celsius and 52% humidity with an air quality index of 33 in Napanee, Ontario, Canada. Hey, Robert. Tim says hi to Robert. Over here, it looks like I can't really make for my swollen eyes. It looks like it's around 5 or 10 degrees, something like that. I really can't tell. And JMA says, hey, to Robert. Okay, as for today, I had one lesson, the AGOX online lessons, but they canceled last night. So my whole day is clear and free, and I don't like it. I am not at all pleased with that. Um, I we've had some rain, and I can already see some green beginning to pop out of the ground, which means the spring, the monster, if I can call it that, the green monster has arrived, and I have so much to do in the out of doors that I want in the garden and now I realize that with the allergies here, I really can't spend time outdoors. And the green monster is going to arrive and get a head start. I really don't want to call it a monster. It's a beautiful thing, but it feels like a monster sometimes when I'm trying to stay on top of the garden. And I was hoping for at least another week of garden work to get behind me to clear out some sections of the garden from weeds before the beast returns. But I'm gonna have to stay up here sealed in my little room today, all day, with a fan running, um, and see the day that way. I might start the live garden camera later. I left the camera running yesterday. Well, it's not a garden camera. I'm calling it the Showa Study Cam. My little workspace here is a very carefully crafted Japanese style workspace, seated on the ground here with these beautiful little antique floor desks that I got, and looking out at the view, and you can see the sun beginning to rise, and there's the Rudy sleeping right there. And I began to call this my Showa study, and I realized that with the clock ticking and the antique items on the wall and the portraits and all, that it would make a nice live space, even if you can't see the garden. So I'm calling this the Showa study cam or the Showa Japan cam, where people can pop in. And it's especially I think I especially like it when I'm not here, and people can um, Heather yesterday was there yesterday. She was working on a project, and she said that she left me a comment saying that she was enjoying uh, Heather's a longtime friend of the channel. Doesn't make it to these lives. The timing doesn't work, but a longtime friend of the channel, and she'll sometimes pop into my other lives, and just enjoy the atmosphere and the ambience. And she was working on a writing project, and she said the ticking of the clock was a nice accompaniment. So I'll probably start that up a little later as well. All right. Well, I think I'm going to call it quits at that. See if there's any comments I missed. Tim says, hopefully some rain will dampen the airborne stuff and help the allergies. We had a huge amount of rain on Wednesday, and I thinking it would, and then Thursday, nope. I was yesterday, it nailed me just as bad. Usually the rain does help, of course, but it's really bad. Apparently, someone's left me a comment and said that 2026 is shaping up to be the worst allergy season in Japan in a long time. Japan Monomore says, I have a full Japanese Kutani dinner service made in Japan in the 1960s with a willow bridge painting illustration. It was not originally for local distribution only. It was originally for local distribution only, not export. So it doesn't have the made in Japan or the Japan only, or the best one to find is the made in occupied Japan. Those are rare. We found one of those at the flea market over the weekend. It wasn't Kutani, but Yumiko brought it over to show me. She says, look, it's a made in occupied Japan, which was about a few year period after the war that's what the stamp it was. But yours doesn't have any of those stamps, so it was made for, so I guess it was for internal consumption. Those are nice. Full Kutani dinner set. Patrick, hi Patrick. Greetings from the work-a-day grind, Softy P. Yes, popped in briefly for the Showa office and saw Rudy maintaining the watch. He's a good boy that way. And good luck with that work-a-day watch. You're doing a worthy and worthwhile thing, right? It's a wonderful thing to actually participate in all that. Robert says hi to Patrick. Tim says it's raining heavy here at the moment. At least it's quite warm for February. Very nice. Well, with another candle going out, I'm going to go ahead and sign myself out so that I don't have to sniffle and sneeze and look like such a mess for everybody. Sorry again for the comments problem we had in the last couple of days. It looks like it's working again. Japan Monomore says, we used to get toys with made in occupied Japan. Oh, no kidding. Wow. That's neat. I wish everybody all the best. And I'll have the Showa, I guess I'll be the Showa study cam running later if anybody wants to come join me. It's been fun. I've been reading while I've been doing it, and it's kind of fun to share I feel like I'm reading. It reminds me of when I used to read aloud when my daughter was young. That was always fun. There's Jim. Hi, Jim. Good morning to you. Robert says hello to Molly. There you go. There's Robert and Jim, old connections from the old days. Tim says, have a great day. Hope you improve soon. Thank you, Tim. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully, if I stay indoors all day with the air filter running, I'll be in better shape. And maybe I'll just take a pop down to the doctor and see about maybe getting a prescription or something like that. Wishing everybody all the best. Be safe, but not too safe. Take care. And Evelyn, good luck with this upcoming trip. I can't wait to hear how that all is going to work out. What an adventure. Take care.